we've never really been able to figure out who she is. Does she want to be the princess? Does she want to be part of the royal family? Does she want to be an actress? We just don't know, and that seems to be her tripping point, I'll say.
It really does. And when we were preparing for this segment, I was thinking back to when I was a little girl, and the seminal event was the royal wedding between Diana and Charles. And one of the things, Diana, obviously the parents of Prince Harry, Diana was such an authentic person. People really felt like they could get to know her, that she was the people's princess, and that's what made her so appealing. And then she had a very passionate commitment to her causes, which was authentic. And I think with Meghan Markle, you just have this hanging back and forth to all sorts of different topics, like she's trying to find that authenticity rather than discovering it within herself. And I think that really is a lesson for young people.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think, even we see with many of the other royal family members, I mean, it's very clear who they are and what they do. Of course, Princess Kate, I mean, she's also very, very authentic. I mean, she seems to be the same person she was back in school when she first met, of course, the prince. And there's just no question there, where it seems like Meghan wants to be, does she want to be an influencer? Does she want to be an activist? Does she want to be the perfect mom? Does she want to be the kind of rogue daughter-in-law? It's unclear. And I just feel that, especially as Americans maybe more and more are distancing themselves from the idea of royals, this isn't helping.
Well, when you look at Harry and William over time, though, they have done so much to raise awareness about mental health issues, showing their own struggles. To me, that's really authentic, to be able to be that honest and say, this is the struggles that I have had. This is how my mother's death impacted me. And he's done so much in Africa for the vulnerable, and also, dear to my heart, veterans, really showcasing their ability to still lead and be successful through the Invictus Games. I think sometimes when we change our role in life, and I think women often have to really look at this, is figuring out where we want to be and who we want to be and how we want to influence people. She certainly does have a following, and so could be very influential. I think Harry and William are different than where Meghan Markle is, and I think, it's hard to find your way sometimes after a mom and trying to figure out, where am I going to invest my energies? And I think you've described it so well. I think she's looking for where she's going to invest her energy.
Yeah, and I think also, especially, I mean, when you're doing that is hard enough as a human, as a woman, but when you are in the public eye, as she is, of course, her every single move criticized, that obviously makes it a little bit harder, I think. But it does seem, though, that Prince Harry is 100% her advocate, her supporter, and really seems to be wanting her to find herself.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think what's interesting is the notion about the royal family has changed entirely in this generation. I can remember my grandmother raising me and saying, the Queen's coming to dinner, and that was significant, and I was supposed to sort of attempt to behave. But now, our thought about royals and the demographics in England have changed dramatically, and that's affected how the royals are viewed even at home. And then, of course, they've endured so much scandal. Andrew now losing his titles. I think the thing that makes it ambiguous for Meghan is that, is she in or is she out of the royals? Exactly. And then after that, it's the question around what notoriety or notability did she get from the royals, and how is she sort of honoring that? So the way to clean that up is, I honestly believe every single person on this planet was born with some gift that no one else has. It's whether they find it and they can kind of give it away, in essence. And I think that that's the thing that's going to be the saving grace. I'm glad their marriage has worked out. I hope they repair the relations with King Charles before anything happens to him, just for the sake of their children. But I think that's the most important thing. And once you get on purpose, this whole idea of women, be feminine, be this, be powerful, be everything, right? And after sprinting over here and getting into the makeup room, we all have these challenges.
Didn't you run in heels?
Ran in heels from Times Square.
Yes.
Just I got my exercise for today. Check. But I honestly think a sense of purpose, and for me, it's educating people about the business cycle. And I really think that my dedication to that, it's like, I don't care what I look like at the end of the day if my message resonates.
And you know what that is? Authenticity. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Comfortable in your own skin and your own heels when you have to run through the streets of New York City. All right, we're going to leave it there. Okay. Frances, Dr. Birx, Victoria, thank you so much. Appreciate it for joining me on The Other View.